Good morning, dear children. How are you all? Welcome back. I hope you all had a fine vacation and are looking forward with enthusiasm to the next session. So, let's start with our chemistry class. As you all know, we have already done chapter 1 and 2. So, we are going to start with our chapter 3, that is metals and non-metals. The topics that are to be covered in this chapter are, first of all, there will be an introduction, then physical properties of metals and nonmetals, chemical properties of metals, in which we'll be talking about the reaction of metals with air, with water, with other acids, and the reaction of metals with solutions of other metal salts. Later, reactivity series will be discussed, then reaction of metals with nonmetals, ionic compounds, what are ionic compounds and the properties of ionic compounds, and later half of the chapter we'll be talking about the metallurgy, which means occurrence of metals and the extraction of metals from ores. So let's start with the introduction part of the chapter. Children, try to understand first of all what are metals and non-metals. See, till now we say more than 118 different elements are discovered. Many of them are found to occur in nature, while some are made by artificial methods also. Broadly, we can classify these elements into two categories, that are metals and nonmetals. Besides metals and nonmetals, there is a third category of elements, children, which show properties of both metals and nonmetals. These elements are known as metalloids. For example, silicon, germanium, arsenic, these are all metalloids. So, in this chapter, basically, we'll be talking about the details of metals and non-metals. So, to start with the first topic, you say the physical properties of metals and non-metals. I think you should know at least the importance of metals and non-metals in our daily life. So, if we talk about metals, see, we have metals. It has got a great importance in our everyday life. They are used for large number of purposes. For example, we have utensils used at home are made up of metals such as aluminium, copper, silver, brass, stainless steel. Then we have metals such as iron that is used in the construction of buildings and bridges, in making of almost all type of machine parts, in the manufacturing of automobiles, aeroplanes, ships, trains, etc. Silver and gold, you all know, are used in making of jewelry. Some metals, for example, titanium, chromium, manganese, zirconium, these are actually the metals which have a great significance as they are used in our country's defense. These metals are also known as strategic metals. Now, if we talk about the importance of non-metals, children, you know, carbon. Carbon is one of the most important non-metal. This is because all the life on the earth is based on carbon compounds. For example, we have proteins, carbohydrates, oils, fats, vitamins, enzymes, which are all made up of carbon compounds. If we talk about oxygen, you all know, which is which is very important for our existence and for combustion. Oxygen is present in air and is essential for breathing to maintain life. This you all know. Another important non-metal, if we talk about, that is hydrogen. Hydrogen is present in almost all the carbon compounds. Then we have nitrogen, we have sulfur. So these all are few examples of metals and non-metals and their importance in our daily lives. So let's start with the physical properties of metals and non-metals, children. So first property we are talking about is luster. What is luster? It is also called as metallic luster. Metals in the pure state possesses luster. That is, they are having a shining surface. This property is called as metallic luster. For example, we have aluminium and magnesium which appear white, while copper is reddish brown in color. So here we say luster is the property. Metals, they show the metallic luster, and non-metals, they do not have shining surface except iodine. Iodine is it's an exception in case of non-metals. Now, the second property we are going to talk about is hardness. See, children, metals are generally hard. The hardness varies from metal to metal. Here, if we talk about sodium, lithium, and potassium, these are the metals which are actually soft. These metals are too soft that they can be easily cut even with the help of a knife. And if we talk about the non-metals, we say they are generally soft except a diamond, which is a form of a carbon, which is the hardest natural substance. Now, if we talk about the state of the metals, metals are generally solids except mercury. Mercury is a metal which is liquid at room temperature, whereas non-metals exist as solids, or they are mostly the gases, except bromine, which is also one of the liquid non-metal. The next property is malleability. Children, try to understand what is malleability. Malleability is a property by virtue of which we say metals can be beaten into thin sheets when hammered. Gold and silver are the most malleable metals. You must have seen gold and silver jewelry. Another best possible example to be given here is of aluminium foil, in which you are wrapping your food material. So this is how the sheets are made out of the metals, whereas non-metals are non-malleable. We cannot make the sheets out of them. The next property is ductility. Ductility means the metals can be drawn into thin wires. And as far as non-metals are concerned, they are non-ductile. Here also, children, the best possible example is we take wires of copper, iron, aluminium. These wires must have been formed from the corresponding metals by drawing or stretching the metal. This you all have. This you all know. If we take the example of electricity wires, so all the electricity wires are in our country mainly made up of this copper. So this is how we talk about ductility. So the next property, the physical property, we are talking about conductor of heat and electricity. See, children, if we talk about heat and electricity, heat we call it as thermal conductivity, and for electricity we call it as electrical conductivity. Metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. Silver and copper are the best conductors of heat. Lead and mercury are the poor conductors of heat. And as far as non-metals are concerned, non-metals are poor conductors of heat and electricity except graphite. Now, the next property is density. What is density? Try to understand. See, density, we say metals are heavy substances. Therefore, we say metals have high densities. This is mainly because atoms are closely packed in metals. Iron has a high density. It is near about 7.8 grams per centimeter cube, and it is a very heavy substance. Sodium and potassium, on the other hand, have low densities. They are light metals. But generally, we say metals are having high density and they have high melting points. And non-metals are having low density and low melting points. The eighth property we are going to talk about, sonorous. What is sonorous, children? Sonorous means to make a kind of a ringing sound. Metals produce a sound on striking a hard surface. They are sonorous in nature. As far as non-metals, they are not sonorous. They are not going to produce any ringing sound. Then we are talking about oxides. Metallic oxides are basic in nature and non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. This property actually we are going to deal in details when we are going to deal with the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. So that's all for today, children. I hope this was a easy topic. You all have understood it nicely. If you have any doubts, please, you are most welcome to ask your doubts in the Zoom session. That's all for the today. All the best. God bless you all.